going on, Vikings fans? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, the 7-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady had some interesting comments around the Minnesota Vikings and specifically Justin Jefferson. I'll share those quotes with you guys here in a sec. But first off, a fun question to start off today's show. Name a random Vikings player that you love or either made you fall in love with this football team. For me, I was 10 years old back in 2009 watching Sidney Rice go for over 1,300 yards with Brett Favre. So I'll go Sidney Rice as my answer to this question. But hey, you guys let me know. Name a random Vikings player that you love down below in the comments section. So Brady this past week, actually part of a mailbag with Fox Sports, was asked, name a wide receiver that you want to play with that you have not already played with. And then he said a couple of tough choices out there. I know Jamar Chase in the season he is having, but I am going with Justin Jefferson. And then he carried on to say he can do everything from any spot on the field. He goes deep. He goes short, catches the ball, catches and runs for touchdowns. He is a ridiculous player, and this part is the best part right here. He reminds me so much of former teammate and Viking Randy Moss. So if it comes down to choosing only one, I'll take Justin Jefferson. And I thought this was perfect timing by Mr. Tom Brady, as there has been a lot of conversation after the Monday night game where Jamar Chase had 177 yards and 2 touchdowns that people are floating it out there. Do we need to have a conversation on who is the best wide receiver in the National Football League? Hopefully Mr. Brady, kind of quieted some of those combos. So thank you, Thomas Brady, for saying that about Justin Jefferson. But let's dive into this a little more. Justin Jefferson versus Jamar Chase, because people have been talking about it. Now, the raw numbers for Jefferson over his first 4 seasons are unlike any that we have ever seen. I mean, and even missing last year, missing about 7 games with that hamstring injury, he was still able to go over 1,000 yards. He's always been a deep play threat. Now, yes, he's never found the end zone as much as Jamar Chase has done this season with him having 15 touchdowns, but still, point being, I think Jefferson has had the best start to any wide receiver throughout their, first 5 seasons in the NFL. And actually, funny enough, most receiving yards in their first 5 seasons. Justin Jefferson, number 1, with missing 10 games last year and 4 games remaining this season, over 7,000 yards. Torrey Holt, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, and Julio Jones fell out the rest of that list. So, when I see the Jefferson, Jamar Chase conversation, I honestly just think this is people trying to get clicks out there on the internet because, in my opinion, it's undisputed who the best wide receiver is in the National Football League. I've been saying I think Jefferson is a top 5 player in the National Football League regardless of position. He is that impactful out there on the football field. And the best argument I can make, Jamar Chase, he's been playing with Joe Burrow throughout his NFL career. Justin Jefferson has elevated Kirk Cousins, elevated Jaren Hall, Josh Dobbs, and Nick Mullins last season. And now we see Sam Darnold, the resurgence he's had. A lot of that has to do with number 18. But if you just compare the raw numbers, this is really where people are saying, oh, maybe Jamar Chase is better than Jefferson. But again, I disagree. But targets on the year, Chase has 20 more. He's got also 18 more receptions. And he's also beat him in the total yards category. But Jefferson has been the bigger play threat this season. But the touchdowns is the biggest kicker here. I mean, Chase has 15 touchdowns. I mean, he is having a fantastic season. And, me saying all this about, oh, Jefferson is an undisputed better receiver than Chase right now, I don't mean to diminish what Chase has done. Because in my opinion, I think Jamar Chase is an all-time great talent. I think he has a really good chance to be a top 10 wide receiver of all time. I just think Jefferson has a chance to be the greatest wide receiver of all time. So it's no slight at Chase here. He's a fantastic receiver doing great things in Cincinnati, but I just think there's levels to it. And I think, as fans, sometimes we underrate greatness. Like the difference between good and great is extreme, and then the difference between great and all time is also extreme. I think Jefferson's all time. Jamar Chase is obviously great as well. But hey, you guys pick a receiver for me down below in the comments section. Give me a number 1 for Jamar Chase or give me an 18 for Justin Jefferson. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Now we'll get to Tom Brady's quote on the Minnesota Vikings here in a sec, but first off, got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. Now, if you guys download the PrizePicks app today and plug in promo code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the PrizePicks app today, use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, what is PrizePicks? PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Now, if you guys are trying to add any more juice to a Wild, Timberwolves, or Vikings game this season, making a PrizePicks lineup is the #1 way to do so. And plus, you got a chance to put some cash in your back pocket. So download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. A massive shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks, run your game. So Tom Brady was doing his top 5 teams in the National Football League this past week, and he said coming in at number 4 this week, it's Kevin O'Connell's Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold, and the offense went off. They had 42 points in Sunday's win over Atlanta. Jefferson, Addison, they feasted on that Falcons secondary as they combined for 5 touchdowns. Minnesota, they're looking to stay hot against a struggling Bears team this week. So I just want to do a little power rankings roundup here. Brady's got him at number 4. NFL.com has the Vikings coming in at 5. Bleacher Report, number 4. CBS has them at 4. USA Today at 5. And The Athletic actually has them the highest at number 3. But there's also a big conversation around the Vikes. Are they a Super Bowl contender or pretender? So I want to go over a little Super Bowl checklist with you guys. And, I think all of these things, you don't need all 5, but you at least got to have 3 or 5 of these things to truly be a Super Bowl contender. Now, I'm not saying Sam Darnold's an undisputed top 10 quarterback in the league, but you need top 10 quarterback production to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion. And Sam Darnold is giving that to you. Number 2, you got to have a great coaching staff. I think O'Connell and Flores have proved that. And in my opinion, I think the Vikes got the best weapons in the National Football League. Jefferson, Addison, Hockenson, we know what they're about. Then Kevin O'Connell, he's actually got the 3rd best record of all time in one-score games so far, behind John Madden and Chamberlain, who coached back in actually the 1920s. And then also, you need an elite defense. Vikings can stop the run, get to the quarterback, and take the football away. Now, specifically on the offense here, I think an explosion is coming for the rest of this season because I think the standard was set against the Atlanta Falcons. Jefferson going for 130, Addison 130 himself, and those two combining for 5 touchdowns. I think we finally saw, all phases of that offense come together, and Kevin O'Connell said it after the game. That's the standard. They set that standard by themselves this past weekend, so hopefully they're able to continue that versus the Bears. I got 2 stats for you guys on why I think that will happen. So Darnold right now ranks 3rd in play-action passing grade, and the Bears defense ranks 30th in yards allowed per play-action dropbacks. So that's a favorable stat for the Vikings passing offense. And then also this, Darnold ranks 5th in the NFL in PFF passing grade against zone coverage. Well, Chicago ranks 5th in zone coverage rate. So, I think the Vikings got a good chance of beating the Bears and, putting on another show offensively Monday night, wearing the Winter Warrior jerseys. We'll see if that ends up happening. But let's close it with this. Who is your favorite Vikings player of all time? What say you? Let me know your thoughts down below. My favorite player, got to go Harrison Smith. I'll go the Hitman, number 22. But you guys let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, I'm on Twitter, @PatSieps, the handle. Give me a follow over there, and I'll give you guys a follow right back. See you guys next time. Let's go Vikes.